Enlarge the Infiniti QX80 on a cold winter day. As the old saying goes, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. When I climbed into the Infiniti QX80 for the first time, one of the first things I saw was a monochromatic LCD display smack dab in the middle of the instrument panel. I looked at the Monroney sticker sitting on the passenger seat and saw a price tag north of $90,000. The juxtaposition of a display that would look at home in the decade-old cars in my garage with the luxurious interior trim left me with the impression that Infiniti made some odd choices with the QX80, an impression that I never managed to shake in my week with the vehicle. The QX80 is the flagship of Infiniti's SUV lineup. It's a true full-size, three-row SUV, competing with the Mercedes GLS, Lexus LX, and Lincoln Navigator for the hearts and wallets of large families and folks who want a massive, spacious vehicle to tool around in. The QX80 underwent an overhaul for the 2018 model year, getting an exterior redesign that elongated the body and made it appear longer. For 2019, Infiniti added a limited model with dark, machine-finished 22-inch wheels. Pricing for the QX80 starts at $65,100 for a front-wheel drive model. If you want all-wheel drive, you'll need to fork out another $3,000. Our review model was the QX80 Limited, which comes with all the fixins, theater package, driver assist, the aforementioned 22-inch wheels, and more, and a price tag of $91,450. This expensive beast is powered by a 5.6-liter V8 capable of 400 horsepower, 298 kilowatts, at 5,800 revolutions per minute and 413 pounds-feet, 560 newton-meters, of torque at 4,000 revolutions per minute. That's paired with a 7-speed automatic transmission, which I prefer to the continuously variable transmission in the QX50 and QX60. If you need to drive your QX80 over some nasty terrain, it has a crawl ration of 1.0 in 4WD high and 2.7 in 4WD low. The impression of an Armada because of Chicago weather. During the review, we're using some exterior photos provided by Infiniti. The QX80 can easily be mistaken for a Nissan Armada from a distance. The QX80 has seen some small updates for 2019. The QX80 at the Dubai Auto Show. The QX80 fits 7 or 8 passengers. There are a lot of buttons in the QX80. From a distance, the QX80 might easily be mistaken for a Nissan Armada with a $25,000 cheaper price tag. That's no surprise, the cars share the same platform and profile. The most obvious differences are the angle of the front grille, the badge in the middle, and the shape of the chrome-trimmed vent on the front quarter panel. The QX80 is not as heavy on the Infiniti design language as its smaller compatriots. There are fewer curves, and the profile is taller and more angular. With a 121.1-inch, 3,073 mm wheelbase and dimensions of 210.2 inches x 79.9 inches x 75.8 inches, 5,334 mm x 2,032 mm x 1,925 mm, the interior of the QX80 is spacious and has all of the high-end touches you would expect from a car with a price tag north of $90,000. There's loads of light gray wood trim, black ultra-suede headliners, and I'm bossing on the first and second row seats. Second row passengers will love the expansive legroom, heated seats, their own climate controls, USB ports, and displays mounted into the headrests of the front seat with the theater package. Third row passengers? They'll be disappointed unless they're short. While getting back there is easy, thanks to quick-release buttons on the dashboard, the seat is positioned closer to the floor than the others, leaving passengers feeling unnecessarily cramped. While the car looks luxurious on the inside, it also feels dated, and Infiniti has made some puzzling design choices. First and foremost is a monochromatic LED display between the analog dials. That just feels wrong in any 2019 vehicle, let alone one that starts at $65,000. Aside from the looks, the use of a monochromatic display involves some UX trade-offs. Want to check your fuel economy or even your compass heading? You'll need to reach over to the touchscreen infotainment display, with Infiniti's dated-looking UI, and navigate through a couple of screens to find the info. The center console and dashboard still feel cluttered, although not as much as the QX60 and its 60 buttons. Infiniti's insistence on a single touchscreen and dedicated controls for many functions means you'll need to do some hunting and reaching when you're behind the wheel. Down by the right knee are the liftgate, steering wheel heat, and audible warning controls. The temperature controls for the seats are so far down that you can only tell at a glance if they're on at night or on a darkly overcast day. And there's a lovely analog clock in the center of the dashboard, right about belly button level. Altogether, the setup is off-putting. Lumbering down the road in comfort, the QX80 in a nutshell, a monochrome display in a $90,000 car from 2019. The QX80 offers good visibility from the driver's seat. The center dashboard is slightly less untidy than the QX60's. The gray trim looks sharp, but the clock is too low to be very useful. The seat heat, cooling controls are under the lip at bottom and difficult to see during daytime. The QX80 apps. Because of the limitations of the instrument cluster, you'll need to use the infotainment display for basic things such as gas mileage and compass heading. The parking cameras and 360 degrees top-down view are useful for maneuvering this full-size SUV into tight quarters. The front row of the QX80. Screens to keep the kids happy. There's also a remote control on 2 wireless headsets so you don't have to listen to Peppa Pig. The second row is very comfortable and roomy. Buttons on the dashboard will pop the second row seats up for easy entry into the third row. The third row feels restrictive. On the streets, the QX80 provides quite a comfortable ride. Step on the running board and pull yourself into the driver's seat and you're rewarded with a commanding view of the highway, compromised only by a fairly large C-pillar. The ride is quiet, and the fully independent double wishbone suspension effectively insulates passengers from rough stretches of pavement. The 5.6L V8 does a fine job of moving this nearly 6,000 pounds, 2,721 kilograms SUV around. It's fast enough if you need to accelerate to make a sudden lane change, but this is a SUV built for comfort, not for speed. The AWD version uses Infiniti's hydraulic body motion control instead of the front stabilizer bar found in the FWD version, and it does a decent job of limited body roll and tight curves. That said, it's still a 3-ton SUV and should be driven accordingly. While most QX80s will stick to suburban streets and the highway, it has the ability to go off-road if you need it, with 9.2 inches (23.4 centimeters) of ground clearance and 4WD high and 4WD low drive modes. The QX80 also has a snow mode, which I appreciated during this frigid Chicago winter, hill start assist, and tow mode for loads of up to 8,500 pounds, 3,855 kilograms. Fuel economy is about what one would expect from a full-size SUV with a V8 15 mpg, 13 mpg city, 19 mpg highway. I got 13.4 mpg in a week of mixed winter driving. Although the QX80 was refreshed for the 2018 model year, it is missing Pro Pilot Assist, which is found in the QX50 and really does a nice job keeping you centered in your lane and following the contours of the road. Instead, the QX80 has the lesser proactive package, which will chime at you when you drift out of your lane. The blind spot warning lights are actually at the bottom of the A-pillar instead of in the side mirrors, which lessens its utility. On the plus side, the QX80 has a 360 degrees camera view that can be shifted from camera to camera via the infotainment display, very useful for maneuvering this massive SUV into tight quarters. After spending a few weeks behind the wheel of